Okay, so this is a Nissan GTR. We're gonna go ahead and install the Radium catch can. I already got the stuff out the bag. As you can see, got all the paper out, got all the fittings laying there. We're gonna install, this is for the breather hose on the crankcase. I already have the PVC side and installed that, but I needed to install the crankcase one. So tools you will need. I will go this is pretty much all the fittings, and we'll go through one by one. Spacers, 3 bolts, I'll show you where they go. 2 catch cans, the bracket, optional. They tell you to reuse the OEM clamps, but I got better clamps here. I bought this at Harbor Freight, so I might use my own. Some grease. I'll show you the tools, and there is the hose. We will have to cut that to length. Okay, further ado, my daughter's gonna record. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna start. So first off, this is a 5mm. You have to remove the engine cover. And so we're gonna remove. Oh, that's tight. So first, remove the engine cover. Make sure you don't drop any bolts. If you drop them, you probably will not be able to get them without jacking the car up. And removing all the bottom plastics. So there we go. So we're gonna remove the engine cover. Last bolt. Okay. Now I'm removing the engine cover. Okay. These spacers on an actual one, they come out and fall out. So mine, I put silicone on mine, as you can see, because these actually fall out of place. And I had these already fall in the car and I couldn't find them. So make sure when you remove this, you probably don't have silicones on yours. Be extremely gentle, side by side, because these will come out and fall and you will not be able to find them or get them. And once you remove it, make sure to put silicone. It's like a little hack and they don't fall out. So engine cover to the side. Now we can view. First, we're gonna start off by removing the 3 bolts here and installing the bracket. So for that, we're just gonna use a little one, a 10mm. And I believe the bracket, I don't have the instructions with me, but they go here. So we're gonna remove, if you go to the front, we're gonna remove this bolt, that bolt, and this bolt at the bottom. Okay, those 3. So we're gonna start. First, break them loose. They shouldn't be that tight. All of them are broken. We're gonna remove these 3 bolts. Okay, we're gonna set these on the floor. You will not reuse these, so just save them. Okay, so those 3 bolts are removed. Now, we're gonna grab the bracket here, and then the bracket comes with 3 spacers and 3 long bolts. So, can't drop this. Get this away. Let's go one at a time. I assume the spacers goes through the back. So we gotta fish the bolt through and the spacer. And there it is. I'm gonna put it just a little bit so it has play. I'm gonna put that one there. We're gonna do the next one. Okay. And we're gonna do the one on the bottom. Probably hard to see. I hope you can see. Getting the one here. So these are the 3. And hand tying them. At this point, you probably don't have to torque them that hard. We're just lining things up. Those bolts weren't very tight, so don't over torque them. So that's that. So we're gonna go ahead and torque it down a little bit. I got the 1/4 inch is probably perfect for this. Hand tight. There you go. Half a turn. Hand tight. Hand tight. It's pretty solid. We'll do a little 1/4 turn. There you go. A little love tap. A little love tap there. And love tap there. That's solid. So the bracket is in. Next up, we're gonna remove these. So these are held, I believe, nope, they are held by 7mm. 7mm. Yep. And now this is a very key tool. You don't need this, but this is the smallest ratchet in the world. It's called a baby ratchet. This is perfect because it gets into very small spaces, and when it's clamps and stuff, you don't want to over torque them. So this baby ratchet is just works amazing. Okay. So we're gonna loosen this clamp because the crankcase hose is right under this, so we gotta remove this. So we're gonna loosen this. I'm gonna loosen this. So that is loose. I'm gonna loosen here in case we gotta take out the tube. Okay, so it's loose. Now we take this out. Okay, so we're gonna go with some light. So if you look, okay, that's the top of the hose. So that's the top. That's it from the valve cover, and then it goes to the bottom here to the turbo inlet right there. Okay, so we're going to remove this with a hose clamps. Now remember, the top hose is going to go to the top of the oil catch can, to the fitting on the top, and the one from the turbo inlet goes to the one in the front. So make sure you route it properly. Again, the valve cover hose will go to the top of the can. The turbo inlet hose at the bottom that routes from the bottom will go to the front of the can. So let's remove that. So I'm gonna grab my pliers. I got the long extendos. I got a few different kind, few different angles. It looks like I might need the straight ones. We'll see. We'll see how these ones go. So I'm actually going to okay. I slid the top one down. Okay. The top one is loose, so you can see. Now I'm gonna work on the bottom one. I need a different plier. I need the long nose. I need these, the long straight nose. So, let's get this out the way. Hey, estoy haciendo. Okay. Okay, now I have removed it. This is the hose. Okay. They tell you to reuse the OEM clamps. So this goes this way. We're gonna put this to the side. Now we will go ahead and put the oil catch cans. So let's put in here. There's no left or right. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna make sure it's fully closed tight. The Radium words, I assume, look to the front, face the front of the car. So we're gonna put them both. Okay, I guess we could put the fittings now to make it easier on us. So if you go back here, just gonna put a little grease on the O-ring. Take a little grease, not a lot. Just put it around the O-ring. There it is. There it is. Now we're gonna put these. Okay. These just go hand tight. Then you have to remove the dipstick. So we will do the right orientation in a second. So that's that. Okay. Now they tell you that for the bolts, you have to put a little thread lock in there. So we're gonna do that right now. We just need 4 first, and use blue thread lock. Blue. There it is. Okay. Let's put this bad boy in. Okay. You put the first one in. Okay, have my daughter hold it. I put the other one. Okay. If you're wondering, this is a 3mm Allen wrench that I'm using for the bolts on the top of the catch can. Just doing hand tight. I'm doing it hand tight. And we're gonna torque them down a bit. Hold the catch can. Hand tight. You don't need to torque it a lot because it's got thread lock in there. There you go. Solid. One last touch. Okay, that one is good. Okay, we're gonna do the next one. So same thing. We're gonna go ahead and put the blue thread lock on these. Okay. Same things. Loop the fittings, or the O-ring, excuse me. Put a light coat of lube in the O-ring. Doesn't have to be nothing crazy, just a little bit so it's not dry. So when you tighten it, it doesn't rip and it stays moist. There it is. Okay, torque the bottom good. Okay, it's gonna spin, but then you're gonna torque it down through here. Take the dipstick out. Okay. Okay. Now, same thing. We're gonna put this bad boy here. Push it down. Line it up. Ya te ya. Okay, we got the first one. Hold it. Hold it there. Okay. Put in the other bolts. Hand tighten them first. This one. Okay. Now you torque it. First hand tight, and then you give it a little snug. Okay. 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 That is in there tight. As tight as it can be. Because you don't want to over torque it, remember? Because you got the lock thread in there. And the bolts are not meant to be torqued. So make sure you don't over torque it. Okay. This is still going to be loose. We'll over torque that with the Allen wrench on the top here once we route it where we want to be. This will be routed to the left because this is going to that side, of course. Same here and same here. So we'll have to put it to orientation once we decide. Okay, so now the fun part. We have to cut hose. So the first hose we have to cut to 30 inch. So we will cut it to 30. So here we measure and we'll see where we got 30. So we're gonna end up cutting 4 pieces. We'll do all the cuts now. So the first one is 30. You see, straighten the hose. 30. It's right there. So, right here. This is their 30. Then the second one is 35. So, second one is 35. So we go 35. It's right here. Okay. The third one is 21, and then the next one is 18. So we go 21. 21 is right here. And make sure this one is 18. It's actually a little bit over 18, but that's fine. We'll cut it to length. So we have our 4 pieces cut. Now, the instructions say to reuse the clamps, so we'll take one of these out to see kind of, or I might just You see how the OEM ones, this hose is a lot thicker than the OEM, so you kind of have to overexpand them. So we're just going to use some of mine. So if you come over here, these are just hose clamps assortment kit. You can get this at Harbor Freight. I'm going to be using the 17 millimeter. Let's see how they fit. You see the 17 millimeter plays a little bit, so we want them a little tighter. So we might go with the 16. So this is the 16. Yep. We're gonna go with 4/16. Yep. So I think these are all 16s. So you see the 16 is, we'll just open it, and these are like heavy duty. So okay. Okay. So we'll put each clamp at each end. Okay. So now we are going to route I'm thinking the long ones will go to this side. So I actually have to grab, I believe the two shorter ones will go here. So I'm gonna grab the 21 and the 18, these two. And we're gonna put clamps at the ends. And we'll go from there. Vina para adentro. So we're gonna put these clamps here. I think we have exact amount, 8 of them. So that's exactly the amount we'll need. Okay. And okay. So now let's route them. So we're gonna route, they're actually both, one's the longer one. So we'll route, doesn't matter because they're cut a little bit longer than they have to. So it really doesn't make a difference. If you put the long one on top, we're gonna have to trim it down about 3 inches. So if you look in here, we're gonna route the first hose to here to the turbo inlet. You want to push it down. So we want to okay, you want to push that hose down to about right there. Vale, donde yo estoy. That's the hose. Push it down about right there. Not too far, but go far enough. And then, so this one, the turbo inlet one, is going to go to this front fitting here. Okay? But we have to put the fitting. So we're going to run the other one. So this one is going to go to the valve cover. So it's a little hard to see, but we gotta push it in. Okay, so that one goes in there to the valve cover. And then the valve cover one goes to the top. So now, all these floor are the same. They're 45 degrees. So doesn't matter. Take 2 of them. This part you don't have to lube or anything. So here we're just gonna hand tighten. I'm gonna hand tighten this. And probably gonna orient it like that. And we're gonna orient it to this side. Like this. We'll torque it at the end. You'll have to lube this end a little bit. We'll lube it up. Put a little grease. And then I'll put a little grease. So the hose, you don't have, these ends don't need hose clamps. I put a hose clamp, but they don't need them. Only the ends that go to the OEM side to the valve cover need the hose clamp actually. So this is a push barb, so that seals as you push it in. You don't need you don't need a clamp for that end. So we'll take the clamp out. Wasn't thinking about that. So first, I want to put the clamp on here. Clamp here, seat it all the way down, and then we'll line up our hose accordingly. So let's work the clamps. Let's get my pliers and let's work the clamp. So first, we're gonna do the valve cover one. Okay, I gotta work it from this angle. Have to get this out the way. This is kind of tedious. I might just keep going. So this clamp is giving me trouble. It's never easy. So okay. Okay, I got this one in. Okay. Let's go. Last clamp. Hose clamp is in. Okay. That hose clamp is in. Now we have to get the one here for the turbo inlet. And this one's gonna be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna have to use these, the 90-degree nose. The other side is the same procedure, so we'll do one side and then the other side is the same. Essentially, it's the same. It's the same as this side. I'm gonna move this hose back because it's kind of getting on the way. So just so I can move the clamp down. Okay, now it clamps in there. I just gotta move it. And there it is, that one's on. So now we're almost done. Actually, let's push it down a little more. Let's push her down a little more. We're gonna push it down. Okay. There it is. Okay. We pushed it down. Now let's see it. So now the turbo inlet ones, like I said, goes in the bottom. Let's route this one back up. We don't need these clamps for this side. So we're gonna take them out. We're gonna take these out. Okay. Now, that one's put, let's see, let me make sure it's seated. This one's seated all the way. That one's seated all the way. So, okay, so now we're gonna have to cut it again. So this, we just gotta make sure we route it properly. I'll probably end up buying some protective sheet for this. So now essentially, this goes, the valve cover, which is, this one is the turbo inlet, goes to the bottom here. You just cut it to fitment, push it in. Hang on one second. So I don't have more, but I have some of this stuff here because the turbo manifold's right there. So I'm probably gonna buy some more. And essentially this just goes like this. It just protects it a little bit from the heat. I mean, it's not gonna make a huge difference, but it does make a difference because then the direct heat is hitting this plastic sheet. So I'll have to buy some more, but this is just something I'm gonna do probably after the install. So for now I don't have enough, but that's just giving you guys idea. Okay, so let's get to this. So this one goes on the top. Well, let's route this one first. This is the turbo inlet. This one goes in the bottom right here. So we're gonna cut it about, I don't know if I want to route it like this. I think this is cleaner. Okay, so we're gonna route this. Okay, so okay, let's do it. Okay, let's cut it. We're gonna cut this one to length right here. Okay. This is the valve cover. This goes to the top. And then we're gonna push this in all the way to the top. Okay, that is in, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're gonna do the same with this one. I think this one we can probably route in here for a cleaner look, like that. So this one, we don't want to, we'll cut it right here. Okay. Now, this one we're gonna go ahead and push. Again, this is the turbo side one. It goes to the one on the front. So, okay, all the way in. That is installed. Let's push it a little more. Oh God, it's heavy. Okay, so now these are secure. So now is the last part. So now we have to torque it up here, and then we have to torque that with a wrench. So we're gonna grab a wrench from over here. The small wrench. So now we want to orient it where you want it. So we're gonna torque this first. Oh. Yeah. So we're gonna torque it right there. Okay. Now we're gonna torque it. We're gonna torque this up here. Hand tight. Okay. So that is solid in there. As you can see, this still has play. We're gonna tighten this a little bit more. Hold the catch can from the bottom. Okay, that's torqued pretty good. Okay, so now same thing with the bottom. Okay. I was losing it. Okay. Torque it hand tight. You gotta make sure you torque it good though, because you don't too weak. So torque it pretty good. And then we're gonna torque it here. Make sure we go torque. Okay, that's pretty good. So it is installed. That's what it looks like. And then now we have to do it'll be the same process for this side. So reverse, now put the coupler back, torque it down, and then for this side, same process essentially. So you take out this coupler, the two 8mm, you push this up. Right under there will be the breather hose, is identically to the other side. You pull it out. Remember, the turbo inlet side goes to the front and the intake side goes to the top. And that's it, just same process as the left side. And video went kind of long. These things are kind of time consuming, so I'm gonna just pretty much showed you what I did on this side, essentially do on this side. Same process, same thing. Again, remove this coupler, remove the two, the breather hose, the inlet side from the turbo, which is the bottom side goes to the front, the intake manifold side goes to the top, and this is what it will look like, ladies and gentlemen. Now I recommend that you buy some of this at Amazon, which I am. I ran out because of my other car. I have it covered with these on hoses. Just cover this because it's right on the turbo side, and this just covers it. A little heat protection, so just a bonus. Is what it looks like. This is the Radium. I'll provide feedback as I use it to see how much oil it actually catches. Thank you for watching, and thanks to Lily for helping me. And this is it. Thank you guys. Subscribe and like the video and share it.